word of Watson. So Watson is very close to artificial intelligence, kind of thing. So now we've been making healthcare, law enforcement agencies using those kind of systems to get more insights out of the data. So if you see the products being used by the NIA, the FBI's, all those agencies to get what sense of data. There's tons and records of call data happening all across. What happened? Some terrorist activity happened. How do you make sense out of the data? That's what this portfolio will help all across the kind of customers. Enterprise content management. Um, there a lot of paperwork still happens in our country. You may like it or not, but it still happens. All our departments, even in the corporate customer, there are a lot of receipts, there are claims, there are invoices, there are receivables. A lot of paper still flows, and that causes a delays. I go to a bank and they takes a request. I sign up a form, and it takes 10 days something to happen. What if at that point in time we digitize it, and then the entire process is faster, smoother, more secure, more correct. That is what is our ECM portfolio is, enterprise content management. Takes the form, physical things out of entire thing, and helps customers to meet their end objective very fast. So we digitize the data more securely, do analysis on top of it. I'll give you an example of SDFC Bank. A lot of their applications got rejected earlier, and there was a lot of hue and cry for home loan department. Customers not filling a form properly, and they filled the form and then got rejected, some 30-40%. And customers are upset, right? Oh, we're filling the form, go to the branch again, and after 10 days somebody says, boss, your form has some few things, go back again. So after this analyzing, they found the customer was filling the form correct, but the question asked in the form was very ambiguous. So it can be answered in different ways. So customer was entering something from his own side, which was not a required answer. So which means the form itself has a problem. So once this ECM solution was implemented with SDFC Bank, they found out that problem. All they did was change the question language. Now the rejection rate come down to less than 2 to 3%. And what happened? Faster turnaround to customer. A simple, happy customer. I filled the form and it's processed in 2 days. Instead of waiting 10 days and then getting to know that form is rejected, again going back to the bank and filling the same form again. No point. Now fill the form, then they're correct. 2 days I get to know whether my loan will be processed or not, whatever. That's kind of solution, time to market we're talking about. So overall, this is the portfolio I just want to give to the partner teams out here, that anything to do with data, right, from warehousing to data warehousing, ECM, optimization, everything we have in our portfolio. And all integrated, coming from one vendor. Don't have to worry about the issues of integration and then something not working with other versions. Not. So I believe that's all I want to cover in just one slide, right? And margins are great. So I give up to you. Embrace the technology, and we can talk offline. And Ingram team is definitely here to help you understand how the IBM margins work to so high at 50, 55, 60% of the deal size. So and that's actual, right? Okay, any questions? Feel free. So I'll pass it on to my other colleague from security portfolio.
I'll introduce.
Yeah,
I'll introduce.
All right, can we have a huge round of applause for Mithul? He said those magic words, margins are huge. So we now call on Mr. Rohan Basin, Client Technical Professional, IBM Security for ISA.
Everyone. Hello, good evening everyone. So Mridul, thanks. He has talked about data. Everywhere is data. Data is residing on distributed environment, or whether the data is residing on specifically on any other data sources, whether it is database, whether it is big data. Everything is using data. Whether you talk about IoT, all the things which are coming, analytics, they are at the back end using data. And the nature of data is dynamic. It is required by every service, and it is distributed. Even if you talk about big data kind of environment, They work on a auto tiering architecture. When I say auto tiering, it has a concept of hot and cold data. Hot data is a data which is running in an active mode on a higher end performing server, while cold data has been kept on a secondary server which will be processed on later on when the requirement is. So that is the concept of a distributed file system. But even what the data which is residing on a hot or cold standby system can be a confidential data, sensitive data for any organization. What are the measures which are taken to protect that data, which I am going to talk in this session. So typically if you see any organization, 70% of their information, critical information, lies on a PI, like PI data or intellectual property or customer information is residing on certain data source, whether it can be a big data kind of environment, or it can be a database kind of environment, or a file share. What is being done to protect that data? Companies can go for, organization go for a DLP kind of exercise, which is typically on the end user side. But still there most of the critical data lies on a other piece. What is being done to protect that data? They can protect data at the user level. So that is the important message. What is being done to protect the data which is on the other side, which generally we miss out. Typically if you see any attack, there was a survey which was being done by a UBM third party organization. It highlighted that 55% of the attacks are insider, because of insider threats. And 62% of the organizations don't have any control on privileged users, while the control is on the non-privileged users. They don't put any control on the privileged user side, but they put control on the non-privileged user side. So we can see the culprit is insider. What? So moving to the next slide. So there was a survey which was being done. This was a data cost, theft cost, which was done in 2015 on the basis of 2014 data. So typically one security breach, only one specific breach which was done, costed around $3.8 million. So that is the impact of any data breach. So it becomes important to secure that data. When we talk about big data kind of a projects or analytics kind of thing for any organization, what actually they want with a big data or analytics project? Typically a CMO, chief marketing officer, wants analytics, that how the customer is, what is their behavior, what is their predictive analysis on them. So as Mridul said that we have a huge portfolio on analytics. So analytics, they want to have an insight to increase the margin, increase the sales. But this is a project which is being started by one specific department, and it is creating a raw IT. So they will be just creating a separate IT for just managing that project. But on the same time, they have not put on specific security controls. Like that data which is there on this system, which is a new project, is still the production data. What is being done to protect that specific data? Even if you talk about big data has a sensitive data, which will be like customer information, PI information, or any specific intellectual property. So this slide moreover talks about Hadoop kind of an environment. Hadoop or any big data environment has the biggest feature is the availability, faster performance, parallel execution of data. So if you see here, this is the data which is distributed on Hadoop file system, and these are the services or processes which are calling for a data in a real time. So that is parallelly processing, whether it can be called by analytics kind of a tool, whether it is call can be done from a data warehouse, or it can be an ad hoc call. How, when the data which is distributed across multiple systems in a big data kind of environment, The biggest challenge is to secure, because earlier the way which we were securing was securing our gates, but the boundaries have increased for organization. Even the data is residing everywhere, whether you talk about data which is on like earlier it was just on the desktop laptop, now even it is moved to mobile. So how to secure on data which is residing on mobile? Even IBM have solution for that. I'll talk on the last part of my slide. So this data, which is like on the big data kind of environment, it is difficult to classify where is your confidential information. That confidential information can be a PCI kind of information or any specific compliance kind of information. That is specifically, if you want to classify, is difficult because you don't know where all your data is distributed. Whether it is even big data, unstructured data, or even structured data on a DBMS. And like granular controls, who has got what access, what is the entitlement. When you see it on a DB level, still it is manageable because you have control on the DB level. But when you talk about big data kind of environment, they control it only using files. So you have a configuration files on one database or one big data server, and you have to manually copy that file on other server. So it becomes a hassle to manage that out. And even the auditing part, like who is doing what at what time, is not as granular as we have seen in the database kind of environment. But when you enable native logging on a database server, you know what is the performance impact. So generally, no organization wants to enable native logging on a DBMS kind of environment. So what is the impact of any data breach for any organization? It hardly matters it is either on a big data or a database or on a structured platform. It impacts brand reputation, it impacts cost, and even like specifically the threat vectors which have changed in a recent past, that APT is the biggest concern for any organization, 0 days. So we are fighting those people or those types of attack which we don't know. So what is the IBM approach to manage big data or even data which is residing on a other platform, whether it is a DBMS or whether it is your unstructured data on a file server? IBM helps in discovering, classifying that data, helps in protection. Protection can be in way of masking, redirection, or even filtering, like specifically if any privileged user, DB administrator, whether it is a big data administrator or a database administrator, we can restrict them from running specific commands like drop command, delete command. These are the specific DML, DSEL commands. And we monitor specifically which user is doing what with their access. And we alert specifically if you have configured certain policy that if user is running this command, it should give an alert. We can do that as well as a notification. And the biggest point is we can help you in the compliance perspective. Most of the organization, if they want certain data to be in a PCI kind of a format to identify where my PCI specific information or credit card specific information is residing on a database server, it helps into identification of that part. So it helps in classifying, discovering the data as well. So basically we can help prevent data breaches. So I can tell you like privileged user. Privileged user is a classical example. They have access, like if a select star is being run by any administrator, they get view of all the database entries. Is that is required by privileged administrator? Is that is the work he is doing? No. He is just modifying the schema. He will be administrating on the schema level or monitoring on the database configuration. But that view is not being required to that person. So the masking is something which is important when a privileged user run a specific command. So only specific rows as per his, like where all foreign keys are there, can be for his use. So that should be only shown to him. Compliance, as I told you, that we can help in the compliance specific reporting. I'll be quickly moving to the next slide. this is actually, oh, yeah. So, okay. So, with this solution, that the name is IBM Security Guardian, it helps in managing data which is residing on a big data database or any unstructured file system. It helps in monitoring who is doing what with that on that specific device or server, and it helps in protection by restricting the privileged user. And it also is like, from the support perspective, it supports, like specifically it supports application server, big data environment, databases on cloud, whether you talk about NoSQL environment, then it also supports content management by your SharePoint kind of a server, or file server which is on Unix or Windows. So just to summarize, this is a IBM specific portfolio for the security, and it is one of the widest portfolio in the security. And this solution can integrate with our SIM solution, and it has a two-way integration with our SIM solution. So we can feed to our SIM solution from this solution, and SIM solution can feed us as well. And we have some solutions, like specifically we have a identity and access management, which talks about provisioning, deprovisioning, single sign-on. Then we have a app scan, which does a application specific security, like secure code development. It helps into that area. Then we have a solution on our network side, that is our IPS, which sits on the network front, on the top layer of the network. Then we have a endpoint security solution, which helps in patch management, compliance, and even asset management. Additionally, it helps in power management. That is very interesting feature. One of the bank has saved 75 lakh rupees in a quarter by using power management feature of patch management solution, big fix. Then we have a MDM solution, which helps in a mobile security kind of, like in today's world, if you want to have a giving mobile intranet access to mobile users of your email, then it is also important to secure that, so that emails can't be, the downloaded mails can't be misused by any third party application which need full access, whether you talk about Android or iOS kind of a system. Then we have a SIM solution, which has multiple modules, and which is a best in the Gartner's quadrant. That is what I have to say. If you have any questions, you can reach me out. I am here. Thanks.
Thank you.
I
Thank
hope
you.
I have not delayed it out.
No, you haven't. So can we have a huge round of applause for Rohan? And I'm sorry for putting a little pressure on Rohan, but you can touch base with Rohan offline too. And with that, I come to my final two presentations, and the presenters have promised me that they will keep it for 10 minutes each. So before they come up, give them a huge round of applause for both our next presenters. So we are starting off with our first presentation, that is surveillance and physical security access. So we have Mr. Vinci Quatra, distribution account manager, Access Communications.
Hello. Good evening, friends. I've got just 10 minutes to show, so I have to exclude some slides and we'll try to move fast. Now, since I think evening we are talking about a lot on data, we'll share some slides on surveillance cameras, that is IP cameras we have. Axis is a Swedish company. In India, we are headquartered in Bangalore. We have our own office at Jasola also. We are 20 people in India, taking care of pre-sales, post-sales, cam, and marketing and everything put together. These are some of the innovations that we did, starting from IP camera. Even lot of innovations, whatever technologies we are using in IP cameras. So it's, if you see, a lot of innovations are being done or being invented by the Axis as a company only. S.264 that we are using, OnWave platform that we are using, that are all invented by Axis. This is our go-to market, that we have a tier 2 model, Axis, distributors, partners, then comes the end users. We are not authorized to sell anything directly to the end users. It's 100% through partners. Whatever inquiries you share, it is being logged in a transparent way in our system, in our Axis CRM systems. have to definitely exclude some slides. This is a market growth. This is a potential business for you, that our SME business is growing at more than 22% year on year. I think this is being projected in 2030. Now, if the growth, you see the growth, that is more than 35% for digital business of IP cameras. No, this is makes us axis as a difference. We have a lot of praise if you see in IP cameras, that this makes us difference. For this channel integrity that I all told you, that we log the case, we train the partners, we like give trainings to the partners, and after that you are being trained and certified on access. So even after that, whatever inquiries you are sharing, that is being very logged transparently with us. So channel integrity is there. Since like the top-down approach is definitely there, whatever mission values we having, it is all related to the partners. Our mission is like loyal to the partners. After that, we have a global recognition for our products. Whatever technologies we have developed, so we are getting global recognition for all these type of technologies that we have. World-class trainings that we do, leadership that we do on our cameras. Next slide is on that innovation. If you see these all products, if you see, these are all, like you will not see these type of products in the market. These are all innovative products that we have. These are like 5 lenses in a same camera. There is a circumference, there is a four fixed lenses are there. Below is a PTZ camera. After that, this is a IP camera which is being used for video conferencing. PTZ camera, which is being mounted at our stall also. It has a speed drive function. It works on 50 fps. Lot of innovations that you will not normally see in a standard PTZ cameras. After that, we have PTZ camera with steel body that are being used for marine grade applications. No competition of that product in a market. Flexible cameras that can be used for hidden, any type of buses solutions, hidden cameras, covered cameras, whatever solutions you want, you can do with this type of installations. Because what we have did is this. In a camera, there are 2 type of things. One is processor, and second is lens. We have divided the processor and the lens. This is a processor and this is a lens. And there is a cable of 15 meter to 20 meters. And you can erect your cameras whatever hidden way, covered way you want to have it. This is a IP horn speakers, network horn speakers that you can integrate directly on the network. This is a PoE based thing. It's a built-in amplifier. A lot of announcement, whatever you want to do it, you can do it with this type of loudspeakers. This is again a 4K camera. 3 4K sensors are there in this camera to have a complete 180-degree view. These are thermal cameras which are being deployed normally for border areas or very crucial areas where you want to detect any crucial activity beyond 3 and 4 kilometers also. Now just to see, we have shown these 2 products. On these 2 products, something has in common. Like this plastic body of the dome cover and this cover of the cockpit, they are of the same material. Now this type of material we are using in our cameras to make it IK protected. These are some of the technologies that we have which makes us actually strong. First is light finder technology, which gives you colored image even at very low lux levels. If you see, whenever like light levels goes down, some brands suggest IR cameras. But in our cameras, you will get only black and white image. You will not get colored image. But using this light finder technology, you can always get a colored image. WDR as high definition TV, axis corridor format is again very unique to Axis because we can inverse the image from a 16:9 format to 9:16 format. Where you want, normally you implement 2 cameras, will get the desired result with 1 camera.